Mic check, mic check. All right. Mic check. Where's that thing? Let's start closing. Boom, boom, boom. What are we dealing with? Let's get rid of this. Let's close all this stuff. Cool. I'm hoping I saved that. All right, big up family. Heidi ho. I'm your host, Brother Raven. Let me switch to my PDF. Forgive me, I've just literally come back from doing some house repairs with my family and my uncles in it. Let me see if I can get the things we need. Okay, the PDF is open. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Welcome to the Black Band Broadcast. Those who tune in, don't forget to tell a friend, we're live. This is a show set aside every Friday at 10 p.m. based in the UK, and it's for Black people worldwide to come together to find solutions and to discuss ways to improve. Isn't that fantastic? Yes, it is. All right. Share screen. Let's see if I can find this thing here. There it is, that one. Ta-da. Welcome to the Black Band Broadcast. This is the 238th episode. We've had to change a short minute the topic. I'll go over that in a bit. We go view mode, read mode. There we go, read mode, and move that like that. Look at that. All right. Take a look at some nice brown sisters on your screen. Very good. Don't forget to tell a friend. Big up, brother Dominic. Very important contributor to the show. Thank you for the videos and stuff. Excellent guy, as well as the other contributors. I'll name you if you don't. If you're contributing, you want to name it, I will. Just let me know. Some people do like not to be named sometimes. Let's see. Big up on code. So it's good to know there's someone on code. So let's go through today. That's nice. The Black Band Building. Don't forget to follow the Instagram page. So we know about white supremacy, anti-black racism, and the Martha. We call that the triple tragedies. And those triple tragedies has caused a double dilemma, which are we are despised and we're disorganized. And that means we need a single solution. And what is that single solution? I hear you say in the future time, past time, and present. Well, that's Black Betterment, you see. Black Betterment, which is a lifestyle of Black people continuously helping who? Black people. That's the caveat there. You want Black people to actually focus on fixing Black issues. If you can do that, you're winning. And unfortunately, Black people have not been winning. And some of the topics today, we have half a winning topic and half a losing topic. Is that my keys? There you go. Right, cool. Move my stuff out the way. Cool. And what we're dealing with? Yeah. So, but if anyone wants, I haven't actually put a link out, but if anyone wants to jump in today's, collective progress and big up. If anyone wants to jump in today's show, let me put the link. You can. We originally we had a guest. The thing is, family, I get a lot of quite a few, not a lot, but quite a few, and I'll talk. Let me go put that. I get a lot of brothers and sisters. They talk to me in privately in Instagram and stuff, and they always ask direct questions about their concerns of life, or why Black people do this, and I didn't know some Black people did this, that, the third. And they get a lot of voice. But I'm not playing anyone's stuff, and anything anyone says to me is always private, even if they know it or not. And but some people don't like to, come on platforms. But sometimes when someone's talking a lot, I do invite them. Some guests not ready for and I was talking to a good individual brother, and he was finding himself and trying to do constructive work. And I said, you asked a lot of questions, man. You should maybe come on the show. He goes, I don't want to come. I could, but then I work, and I go. And that's the interesting thing. And maybe I'm naive. I probably am. A lot of people think, and I'm not saying they're wrong. We understand, how anti-Black racism works, but a lot of people think that, if you talk about racial issues, you might lose your job, and and that has happened, to be honest, with a lot of people. And that's why we try to approach the Black Betterment broadcast as we tackle strong issues, the way we conduct it shouldn't be confrontational at all, really. I hope not. Obviously, people get triggered here and there, but generally it shouldn't be. And I think that should be a strategy as well, how to talk and get to the end of a topic and be constructive in a way where, people who might be connected or visibly known or whatever ain't going to lose their jobs. Um, Talking to you privately is one thing, but talking on the podcast probably can handle. Probably can't handle the topics. Yeah, that's another thing. I've talked to some few people privately, and then when it comes public, it does change the dynamics sometimes. And some people get intimidated, some people feel attacked or something. I do always try to tell the premise of the show. Like some people, they get their own ideas of what they think the show is, or what they think I'm about. Some of the contributors about, and then when they come up their show. But it's pretty much consistent. We're here to promote a lifestyle black betterment, try to educate and make helping black people more beneficial, and try to codify it so it's beneficial. So don't forget discipline. Hold on, have I got that in there? The thing is, you can't even pin it on this one. Oh, pin user. No, I don't want it. I do wonder if someone else posts that, can I pin? Let me see if I can pin this one. No, I can't. So I have to go in as an admin. No, let me go in as an admin and pin it. It's going to open up Firefox. Yeah, so anyway, discipline, dignity, what's the other one? Dedication and discernment. Whatever, and this is what I always tell people, because even I was talking to some people off the screen, they F and blind a lot, which is, and express themselves. And I do say, if we come on, we want to make the content as universal as possible for grandmas and children. Though we start late, and we do case study some adult material. It's good if we can try to keep it, early morning kind of talking vibes, if possible. Also, I think it's quite valuable if black people communicate and minimize any kind of vulgarity. What it is I think on these kind of shows as well, when you're talking, sometimes you're effing and blind here and there, and everyone's laughing, and then next thing you're arguing and you're effing and blind, but you don't see the transition because the tones and the volume and doesn't change. So people have gone from being friendly to enemies, and you don't even see it. So sometimes it's good to have that kind of reminder. Here we go, live. Let me just mute that so you don't hear the. I'm just gonna. There you go. Hear myself live. Don't forget to like, please, if you're listening live. Please like. I don't know what it does, but I'm sure there's something decent to do that. Here we go. I'm just gonna pin that. There you go. It's been pinned. Let's carry on. So try to use destructive language. Here we go. So the original topic today was talking to the community. There was a brother who wanted to talk, but I think he said he changed his mind and it's Friday. He says Friday to me. It's like he's a day of joy after working long, so he doesn't really can commit, which is cool. But I do get a lot of people want to talk to me. And I'd say if these are because people go through a lot of topics when they talk to me, like, oh, what about this, what about that, and aren't you scared you're going to be killed for trying to help black people? And I hear that a lot. Like, is that really where we're at now, where if a black person wants to improve black people's life, that fear of being killed? Is that? And I get the history, and I'm not saying that's not the thing. That is a thing, of course. But if that's how most black people are thinking, then that probably explains why some people don't want to do anything constructive, because of fear of being attacked for trying to do something constructive. Be interested. But then obviously some people, they're romanticized about what they think a black betterment is, or what pro-blackness is, whatever. And essentially, this is just taking accountability for your community, really. That's what it is, you see. That's what it is. But yeah, so the today's fantastic topics are questions. Oh, that's not what we talked to. Oh, here we go. So let me. The thing is, I know I'm going to try to open this and compress it. Probably shut my machine down. So what the new topic actually is let me find it for you, and I'll update it when I can. Let's see how long it's going to take to open. On average, do black restaurants have good customer service? I literally changed the topic this minute, because the guest who wanted to speak he cannot speak. This is like the 5th time that's happened. We need to really get some kind of protocols of guests who want to speak for you. I think the cold feet is something we have to really envisage and factor in. But funny enough, I'm rushing around today. I'm fixing. There's a lot of issues in my house where I live. Just come to fix them. I've been taking too long to do that, and yeah. So obviously, I normally cook, and I recommend you learn how to cook, guys, and If you do cook, that you can control your sugar and salt intake. Black people have terrible blood pressure and diabetes and cholesterol, this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, and the contributing factor is so many things. But one is, the health. So one way to monitor your health is actually make your own food, and obviously you control the salt and sugar and all that, and then you can pick your own things, and you get the the, the potassium, the carbs, the protein balance. How to find healthy protein and healthy potassium, all that good stuff, and try to stay far away from ultra processed foods or processed food in general. And maybe once every whenever full moon. But if people they obviously binge on this stuff, and this contributes to terrible health. Anyway, because of that, I don't really order takeaways. But when I do, I obviously like to. What is going on there with this software, man? But when I do, oh come on, don't crash. But when I do, I as normal, I like to support black establishments, as you do, right? And also, I'm a big fan of Caribbean and African food. Uh, but obviously, I'm vegetarian, so that literally rubs off most African restaurants, apart from Ethiopian. Big up Ethiopia. If you never had an Ethiopian food, I'd recommend going. Very, very, very culture place. They got the injera. They put it on one bowl. They pour the stuff around it. Use your hands. Nice, nice, nice. Aha. Anyway, yeah. So order for a Caribbean restaurant for me and my cousins who are here fixing the stuff, and then I use the app. Yeah, we don't have a black owned app yet. I mean, I should have rang them directly, but that could be problematic. But yeah, they were late. Then I rang up, and then I kind of got the sense that as I rang up, they said, "Yeah, we're sending it now," all that kind of stuff. And then they said, "Oh, it's not our fault. The driver, we use a new driver, and and the new driver just came to your area and came back allegedly." And the thing is, I've had this open discussion before when I do speakers corner and some other debates and stuff, or just live talking on some shows or whatever. And the topic comes up about Caribbean restaurants, black restaurants, but I'm going to say Caribbean restaurants. Even to the point where it's even like a skit. It's even like a skit where people make jokes and stuff about it. That's not cool. Including Caribbean people, of course. But then there was a time we were discussing whether we should make PDFs to download of how to do good customer service. But anyway, before I start rambling about the topic, family, let us go through how we normally start. Now, I'm trying to open this software. It's mad slowing down my machine, so I'm going to shut it down. Yeah, quit that. Yeah. We can't have video streaming and that. Let me shut all these softwares down as well. Like I said, my Mac is showing its age, like anything else, it seems. So anyway, let's go to the videos. Now, family, if it cuts off, bear with me. It might be that my machine just says, no. Let me shut that down. Let me see if I can open this video. There we go. Yeah, close all that down. Close it down so the RAM can improve. Anyway, let me see. So how we normally start the shows is we look through random videos and we just give a black man perspective. So the first topic will be black restaurants, and the second will be the importance of black innovation. We discuss the importance of motivating the young to innovate in the tech and business industry. Found some nice videos of young people innovating, which is always good. And we need to have more positive uplifting and motivational stuff that we should be doing anyway. I'm feeling. Oh no! But while I find this video, it'd be good to know your customer service is something that needs to deal with. Yeah, if you could, because I'm gonna write a list of it. If you could write down the things. Let's be honest with some of the issues you have with customer service in black establishments, more so restaurants. But I mean, I'm more looking towards the restaurants area, and I'm actually focused on Caribbean, but then African as well could have has my I've been whatever. But just list some of your own personal complaints, maybe, because what we're literally going to say, make a downloadable Black Betterment PDF of how to, certain just basic things about customer service, like don't argue, or try to have enough food stocked, or try to have a variety of food that people can eat, like different dietary needs, whatever, or health needs, potentially. Trying to deliver things on time or at all. Trying to make sure the food is warm, whatever, nice or whatever, right? Just if you could think about that while we go through the other topics, and I'll make a list because I've been talking about this, trying to do a PDF, free PDF for quite some time. All right, let me see. What should we go? Quite hardly free brother, the fast food, Nigerian energy, soap. what was that? You know what I did? Please tell me I downloaded it. Yeah, this is a good one. Abby Global. So this is having sleeping.
Imagine I'm in Ilford and I just found the Afro-Caribbean version of Costco's. It's called Abbey Global. Come follow me real quick, innit? Brother? Man basically said black-owned Afro-Caribbean Costco, you know. Please believe we made the mistake of coming in here when we were hungry. Bare picking up every item in the shop. Where's your self-control? These men had stuff like instant puff mix, Dunn's River seasonings. Man even saw 5-litre olive oil. Babe's basically just moved around picking up everything and acting bare shocked. Cause some of the products here she ain't seen since she was doing up boarding school in Nige. I remember having this Zobo drink before and it tasted bare like sorrow cause man them said rice by the bucket loads. Boxes of planting crisps for my big back snackers. These man even got the little fresh fruit and veg section, and 3-piece of planted for £1 has got to be a UK world record low. These man obviously got the frozen meat section, but if you want the thing fresh, please believe they also got a whole butcher inside the place, you know. Can't lie, there ain't even enough time in this video for me to show you guys the whole shot. Just remember, say Jam will put you on, and now you're gonna like and follow for more content like this.
There you go, Abbey Global in Ilford. Well, we also show supermarket. This is more like a is it bulk kind of buying? I'm assuming, but it's in Ilford. Well, I'm gonna, like I said, we've got two. We've got this one in Manchester, and we've got obviously the two brothers who did the joint percentage thing, the Rapper brothers. Is it Price Savers they call it? I can't remember that. Big up, man, they got this. But we're gonna make a list, and I'm gonna on the Instagram page design maybe the name of the name of the restaurant, the owners, and maybe some some food, just and then people can share that. So big up there. We're joined by Lee. Is that Lee? Is that a welcome Lee to the Black Man Broadcast?
Yo, what you saying, Rayburn? It's Uncle Barber still. I don't know how come it hasn't come in as that yet. How you doing, my brother? You good?
Good, yeah. We can see Lee, but yeah, welcome. Well, like I said, we always like to discuss things on here. So today's topics are the importance of young black innovation. We discussed the importance of motivating the young to innovate and in tech, as well as the new topic, which is Caribbean or black restaurants, like customer service. Is it something that we are best pleased with on average? Obviously, there's fantastic restaurants out there, but on average, is it something that needs work or not really? Do you have any opinions on these things?
Generally speaking,
Yes.
we all know that for the most part, it's terrible.
Right.
It's
Okay.
terrible for the most part. For myself, the reason why I jumped on because I actually have a level 3 in customer service,
Right.
and so yeah, I understand exactly what is not happening and what needs to be happening. You get what I'm
Wow.
saying? Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, the places that I'll go around to, the places are generally clean, so
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, hygiene's cool.
Yes.
But there's a lot of stuff if you want me to go into a little bit of a list
Now, please,
of what
please.
needs to be done.
I'm literally as you're there. I've got my pad and pen ready to talk to Green, just because I've got my things that I will. Because I'm gonna try to do some kind of document that people can download and just it gives advice.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you got anything, by all means, yeah.
Well, I think for the first part, obviously, when we have, normally when people, black people have businesses, we sort of just want to provide a service and that's it.
Yes.
But you got to think about the optics of when you first come in. So the first things first is uniform.
Yes.
Yeah. So uniform sort of separates you from just sort of trying a thing as opposed to actually doing something serious. So first of all, you should have your branding correct, and you should have a uniform. When people step into your place of business, should be welcoming. You should be welcoming as well. In other words, greeting with a smile,
Yep.
good morning, good afternoon, good evening, etc., etc.
Yep.
Also, stuff like name tags, so people should know what your name is, so they can address you by your name. Um, Also, what you have, your services should be clearly displayed. So, for example, if it's a restaurant and you have all the stuff on the menu,
Yeah.
you have all your displays and stuff like that. Yeah, it should
Yeah.
be all readily available, proper photographs, proper uh displays actually in the shop, in the Bay Maries and your patties and your such and such. It's all on site so you can see it. Do you know what I mean? Um, After that, we need to deal with the speed. because the speed is really, really slow.
Speed.
Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes. That's
Yeah,
actually
speed.
cool.
You have to be efficient. Do you know what I mean? We have to somehow find a way in Caribbean because I used to do catering,
Yes.
and you do have to find a way of how to deal with people correctly. I mean, I went to I went to have Chinese just a while ago, um, and I ordered quite a bit of food, and I
Yes.
was in and out of there within about 6, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's from contact to out the door in
Mm.
about 6, 7 minutes, eight tops. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there, I think in other communities, the food they just move faster when you're in and out the shop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think when we have our sort of institutions, we don't do things with any sort of urgency. Everything is just in slow motion. I mean, I've been in a Caribbean shop before, and I only went to get a drink, and I was literally in there for about 15, 20 minutes.
Nah. I'm like, yeah. Nah.
So,
Nah.
so the but one would say that okay, with those people in front, but really and truly, what you're supposed to do is when you're serving customers,
Yeah.
right? So, say you've got something in a microwave or whatever the case may be, we have to learn how to multitask. Do you know
Multitask.
what I
Yeah.
mean? So, right. So
Multi.
we should be asking clients that are customers that are coming in, good afternoon, how are you? What are you after? Find out what they're after, and if it's something that you can fetch for them straight away, then you deal with it.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there and wait until you're 5 minutes in the microwave and stuff to serve someone that just wants a bag of crisps or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's something that they want that is sort of like needs to go through the same process, then you say, okay, no problem. I was just checking if it was something that I could have got right now, but just give me a minute. I'll just deal with this client and blah blah blah. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? So um, I don't know. I mean, I run my own barbering studio, so I have to make sure that I do my thing efficiently and stuff for the clients and stuff as well. And that's how I retain my customers.
You say a barbering studio? That's in barber, as in
Yeah,
hair.
I'm always in the comments. I'm called Barber Studios, but I don't know how to look
Ah.
them up as me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh right. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
me.
Right. Well. Yeah. So it makes sense now. But it makes sense. All right.
Mm,
All right. There you go. Welcome. Welcome. It's good to hear the voice behind
yeah,
the
no problem, bro. Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you put you. So I thought optics and uniform. Welcome and
Yeah,
greetings.
that's important.
Morning. Name tags. So when you're talking to someone, you might know who they are. Displaying the food that people
Yeah,
can buy. Speed. You said that
yeah,
to other places you're in and out 10, 5 minutes, whatever. Caribbean, 15
yeah,
minutes, to get one drink. Multitask. So
yeah,
be able to multitask while
100%.
something's in the microwave. You're also asking other people. Find out
Yeah,
what you are after. Oh, find out what the person wants. I guess that's multitasking.
yeah. And
Um,
also offer other services and products and stuff as well, because sometimes you might go in there and you ask for something and they haven't got it. And instead of them saying, okay, we haven't got this, but we have this, or would you like to try this, or blah, blah, blah. It's just like, okay, no, I don't have that. And that's it. Like, do you know what I mean? We have to sort of
that's
learn how to
two.
upsell.
That's a very good advice. Did you say you work in customer service? Is that did you say you do that as well?
I've worked in customer service for years. I've done so many different jobs and stuff like that. But
Right,
I do have an actual level 3 qualification in customer
right.
service.
There you go. Well, this
I
is
don't feel
important.
like I needed it to be fair in certain aspects, in it, because a lot of customer service you can teach it, but it's also majority of it is to do with personality as well. It's not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sort of
No,
on paper. Do you know what I mean?
you've conquered. But then that's the thing, though. Like for someone who has it, it's very priceless. For someone who doesn't, and some people,
Right,
that through the life they've lived, they're really unaware that they might be in a certain element where they're not really approachable, or whatever it is, or they might be missing a
right,
trick. To someone like yourself,
right.
this is like key, and this is why we say that that's how Black Bear works. Like someone has the skill, someone doesn't, and you present them, and then each one
Yeah,
teach one, and that's very important.
right.
And a great Frank. So, something I think I wrote down. Oh yeah, not having, that's another thing you said. Offering something else, like we don't have that, but we do have this. So have you tried this for that customer service?
Right.
Also, one thing I don't know if family listening out in the internet, whatever, but one thing I do find in many Caribbean places, I will go there and they're out. Like they're out quite early of food. Like
Yeah,
I've never really experienced that. Maybe it's even to the point where it's now becoming cultural, where like you ask for
right.
certain kind of cuisines that's advertised and they don't have any. And
And they
and,
don't
and,
have
and
it.
I not that I eat Chinese at all anymore, really, but I do I do remember when it's like yeah, when you order things, they've got it. They've got it. They go make it. Well, in many Caribbean restaurants, it's like it's literally what you. One thing that people get used to. That's why it sounds like a cultural thing. Is that what do you have left?
Hmm.
Rather
Yeah,
than
yeah,
I've come to your like you have this famous kind of stew mushrooms or whatever you've got, whatever, right? And I've come here and I want to try it. That's not an option. I have to come in and ask you, out of everything
yeah,
you've got, what do you have left that I can order? And maybe that
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wondering, does that lose you money? The fact that you can't offer something that people want.
Yeah,
See?
well, it's interesting, Raven, because there's a place by me, yeah, and I'm not going to
Yeah,
call it. Obviously, I live in Birmingham, but I'm not going to call what the place is called.
yeah.
But it's quite a big place with a lot of potential. They have seating and all sorts, and there's never anyone in there. Like, there's never
Ah,
anyone in there. And every time I've been inside there to order something, there's no menu,
yes.
and you have to ask him, what do you have? And it's almost like the
That's what.
brother just cooks a dinner for the day, and
Yeah.
that's all that's for sale. And I don't understand how. I look at the potential of the place. Like that could be like a massive restaurant, and that could be ticking. And I'm struggling to understand what is actually happening. I don't understand it.
I-
Like
I'm,
it's
I'm, I'm,
crazy.
I'm very happy you said that because I don't expect people to do this or not. I mean, I'm just bringing up, but literally, I've rushed outside because I was outside talking to the owner's wife of this Caribbean restaurant I ordered from, right? And I was just explaining that some of the apps they use. I used to work for some of the companies. I used to work on like building the apps and stuff. So I was telling them there's a way you can use the app to maximize your money, blah blah blah. But she was explaining like it wasn't sorry about the delivery man coming and leaving and you getting your food 2-3 hours later and this kind of stuff. And I was saying, well, yeah, this I'm not going to leave a review because that does affect your business. Although maybe it's actually
Yeah,
I should, but she explained. I said, well, look, here's you've got my number where it is, right? I'm happy because she said her husband owns a business, but it's going bad, and
hmm,
because they're using the app's taking a lot of the percentage and this kind of stuff, and and then the drivers, you can't track them, and so they can cancel and blah blah blah. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, let me we'll have a talk in it because one thing I was saying is that you understand potential, like if you can offer
hmm,
some good advice to a restaurant, especially a brother sister, whatever, I would recommend you do it. I mean, just where I live, there's this one Thai restaurant, and I'm not even saying they've got good service because to be honest, I don't know. They must be putting something in their food because people are lining out. So they're lining outside this Thai restaurant, and
hmm.
people don't even bother ringing them because they're not going to answer the phone because they're always packed, and people are hoping that people leave so there's time for them to go in. They close. They usually sell food and go to Thailand for the rest of the year because they make so much money doing it. But right next door to them, I remember it was a Caribbean restaurant with a smashed glass. I remember I walked in there because obviously I couldn't get the Thai place, but I wasn't going anyway. And it's like the woman was there and she was watching whatever she was watching, and she gradually turned and looked at me, and then I go, can I have this? And we don't have that, don't have that. Then there was a kid running around in the back doing what he was doing, and I was like, man, like next door, they're really killing it. Like people are lying outside hoping to get in, and they won't. And here I come in here, and no one's here, and I'm here, and this woman's taking her time. Unfortunately, the shop closed down, but it was bought by I think African and Caribbean guys, and they've done that really nice. So and I've given them advice about what not to do, well, from at least from what I've seen. But I think the moral of the story is if you are seeing brothers and sisters missing the mark on their restaurants, give some advice. I've given plenty of advice about how to use Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and Just Eat to maximize, people finding stuff. Also, looking at percentage of people, like certain people have certain dietary laws, whether they're vegetarian, vegan, halal, all this kind of stuff. So if you cater to those, then you can maximize, especially if you're using the app. And then, like Barber Lee said, you know, optics, uniform, welcome and greeting, good morning, name tags, display food that people can buy, food in, food out, quick, multitasking when you're doing one, talk to someone else, find out what people want, and offer other things, 'cause if you are try not to run out of food, please don't. But it happens, maybe you got a special kind of restaurant that cooks very, hard to make food, so it's going to run out, maybe, who knows? But try to play it by ear, right? If you're constantly running out, maybe constantly get more. I don't know. But that's just us. For those joining, we're talking about, on average, do black restaurants have good customer service? Now, we don't do this to rant, because one thing we don't do is just rant and run away. We have think of potential solutions, and obviously, each one talking to people, talking to restaurants, giving advice, free advice, showing them what companies are doing, and that. But why don't we do it? Because I did, because we're dealing with the Caribbean, but obviously we're dealing with African as well. But I think I downloaded a video of Caribbean lady, and she came from Jamaica. So this I never had time to get as many videos as I wanted. So and I was gonna download there's a whole lot of comedy videos about I think whoever was a real McCoy. I remember they used to do jokes about Caribbean restaurants a lot. And Real McCoy is old, so the younger audience won't know what I'm talking about. But it was the biggest Black UK show outside of Desmond's. I think Desmond's is another old show you probably don't even hear about. But these are old. You're talking about 90s and 80s now. Back, some of you guys weren't even born. Who knows? I don't know. Fast food. Let's see what this is saying. No,
people think burger, but
this is actually good. I should. This is a brother. Of course, is it? He's probably famous. I'm going to name him because I'm behind whatever. But this brother was making food about raps about eating healthy. Let's play it anyway because it was good. I should have played at the beginning. And follow this brother.
When you say fast food, people think burger, but nature can take it a little further, faster than any food that you cook. Follow Maccabee, take a look.
Maccabee, big up Maccabee.
Real fast food. See what I go on ya. Look how fast you can peel a banana. Look how quick you peel the mango. 3, 2, 1, go. Real fast food. Check the berry. Don't have to peel them, not necessary. As long as the fruits are ripe and ready. And your must get steady. Cha. Peel the oranges, cut the avocado, slice the cucumber, cut up the tomato, get the kiwi, cut it in a quarter, bust the coconut, drink the water, scrape the jelly out, eat it after. Add the dessert, main course and the starter. In abundance for your indulgence, food with substance, full up of nutrients, natural packaging for your convenience, ram-packed with wholesome ingredients. Yes, Aya, you know it's the truth. The healthiest fast foods, veggies and fruit. How I meet Wednesday? Yes, Aya. When you
pick up the brother, that was good. Follow him. It was I just came across my feed, but good brother. He was talking about healthy eating and how to make your own food and creative stuff. Excellent. But that's not what I was actually trying to play. But play it anyway. Where's that? Was it this one? It's not soap. You know what? I've downloaded it, but I haven't put it in my thing folder. Let me put it in the thing folder. Hold on. Download. For those joining, we're talking about restaurants, Black restaurants all over the world, but I guess the UK. But there's a lot of cultural similarities all over the world, and we're just trying to make it right. Like, how can we help the brothers and sisters have a better customer service? Because it seems like that for some, there doesn't seem to be. Where's this download thing, man? Come on, there we go. Download. Found it. All right. Can I drag it like that? If I could drag that, that'd be so helpful. No, you can't. All right, rubbish. Give me 17 seconds, family. This is just a woman who's talking about her trip in Jamaica. I wonder if there's any similarities in this, and we could pick up some stuff. There we go. The shows, and we are what numbered 238. Here we are. All right, here we go. Poor customer service Jamaica. There it is. I just came across it randomly. I just click on it. It might, be good to hear what the sister say. Boom, boom, boom.
Customer service
in
Jamaica. I don't know if anyone experienced this, but I'm going to talk. I went to Jamaica last week, and most every restaurant I go in, the customer service, very bad. No approach. They're not pleasant. They are abrupt. I don't know. It's like they had a problem at their house. Their man getting problem, or I don't know what it is, and they take it to the workplace. I don't know about y'all, but I was told that if you have a problem at your house, don't take it to your workplace. Always have a smile on your face. All right? But most every restaurant I went in, the customer service is disgusting. So the employer needs to train their employee how to approach customers, how to talk to customers, and how to be polite. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're not getting enough pay, but it's not our problem. Because without customers, you will not get a paycheck. So I think you guys should do better. You understand what I'm saying? I love my island. Island is beautiful. Trust me, I love Jamaica. When I come back to America, it's like, oh God, it's like, oh, not again. You know, we come to Jamaica for a breather. We don't want no attitude. We don't want no face look like on no smell, no top lip, and all these things. And it must be more pleasant than that, man. We're spending our money when I beg, and whenever I come in here, I say, beg you a piece of chicken leg, beg a piece of thigh, beg a piece of breast. You understand? We're spending our money. You understand? So guys, you need to be more polite, be more pleasant. All right. I mean, you need friendly people to work in the front page of any business. Because if you're not a people person, you don't need to work in the front page. Go in the back and do something in the back. Is the truth. You know what I mean? And I'm not the only one who talk about it. I heard people talk about it all the time, but I'm the one who bold enough to talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? The customer service in Jamaica is disgusting. All right? I know a person going to say it's not only Jamaica alone. Yeah, I'm talking about Jamaica at this present moment.
So this is obviously complaining about Jamaica. Now we're talking about Caribbean restaurants here. Now obviously complaining isn't our thing. Our thing is to recognize if there's a consistent challenge, highlight the good variable ones, and make them be the ones we study and promote for people to study. But also, if we're seeing consistency, then we need to offer advice. Because ultimately, you are losing money with bad customer service, isn't it? Like
100%.
you really are losing money. And the thing is, you are not aware of what's going on in the back of someone's mind. Like loyalty, like that should be one of your strategy. Like, how do I get a loyal customer base? Because essentially, the Thai restaurant that literally only opens for a couple of months and goes away up the road from you, whatever, they have a loyal fan base. People are loyal. They love what they get from there. They love the setup. They love everything about it. And that's essentially what you want. You want a loyal fan base because if people like me, there's certain places I have business meetings in Ugandan restaurants or Ethiopian restaurant. I'll have meetings in a Caribbean restaurant every week, whatever, right? And it's like this is what we do. So that's what you want. You want people to be comfortable. They come to you for certain needs, and it's very important. Very important. We've got Brother Lee, the barber, giving some jewels there. He's given us. We've written so much things about customer service.
I think to be honest, can I say something?
You can.
Right. I think to be honest with you, and we have to be honest. We can't go around it and stuff like that.
Yes.
Our attitude needs to change.
Yes.
Before the customer service, the attitude itself needs to change.
Yeah.
And when I say our attitude, I mean our sort of vision, like what do we actually want? Because what's happened is in our community, when people open businesses, it's almost like it's a hustle. It's not a business. So it's like, okay, I've opened a business to say, oh, I've just got a business.
Yeah.
But when you're supposed to be open from 10 to, I don't know, 10, it's not consistent. You may be open at 10 or 10:30 or 11, and it's just not, they're just not, we just don't have that sort of seriousness about it when we're doing it. And that was one of the things that there was a lot of things when I was looking at how a lot of our business function, I was trying to function mine the complete opposite.
Right.
So what happens here is I get a lot of new clients all the time, but my time's quite limited because obviously I'm a single dad with my children, so my time's quite limited, right? So my new clients normally come because of poor customer service in the other barbershops,
Right.
and I retain them, so I understand exactly what is happening. I have a lot of sisters with children, and they come to me.
Yes.
Because when they go to barbershops, they go in there, it's a very hostile environment. There's some very hostile conversations happening. The barbers are treating them like they're looking them and all that sort of stuff without going into too much detail. And they just want an environment where it's calm, the barber's not trying to look them and take the numbers for sort of personal purposes and stuff like that. And just get their son's hair sorted out, doing a nice calm environment, and that's it. Now, I don't run a walk-in service, so I run everything booked, right?
Yes.
So I have a hand-built studio, and I use a booking app. So what happens is I never have more than one client in my space at any given time, unless somebody's running a bit late,
Yeah.
right? So that gets rid of the crowd. There's no one hanging around and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
a nice, clean, warm, smell fresh environment. TV, which they chill out. It's just a calm environment, and they come, they get their children's hair sorted, and they go, and they're happy, and they love it. So what these barbers don't understand, and I'm only speaking about barbering at this moment, right?
Yeah.
Just because that is my field, even though I have dealt with food as well, right?
Yes.
But what's actually happening here is it, the barbers don't realize that they're losing money, which you
Yeah.
just mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a client comes to you, say for example, £20
Yeah.
every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
right? That's £40 a month, and if you put that into 12 months, if you had 20 clients that has left you because of
Mm.
that foolishness, then you've lost a lot of money. But they're
Yeah.
not looking at it like that. So what they're doing
Yeah.
is they're giving that to me, because once I get them, they stay.
Because yeah,
They
You-
stay.
and
So
that's why your skill set is key, and that's why this
right.
education package we're doing. We got a question from Buddha being interesting. Do you think all ethnicities get the same bad customer services? Oh, so I think what you're asking is,
Ooh.
do you think if like a non-Caribbean African person went into a Caribbean African restaurant, whatever, would they get? And that's an interesting. That's because I'll be honest with you, I'm very rarely with non-black people in black establishments, if ever. I mean, maybe
I
a group.
think,
Sorry, I don't know. Go
I think to be honest, they get the same speed of service, but they
Yes,
probably don't get the same attitude.
I have
So they get
seen.
the same lack of speed.
Yeah, yeah. That lack of priority. But I have heard. I can't remember where. Like some cases of like being overlooked for different ethnicities in your own kind of cultural establishment. I think I've heard of that. But I mean, we
Mm,
have to. Yeah, yeah. But that's a very good question. That's a very good question. I don't think though. If we see a change, like there's a smile, there's a morning, sir, and then that would be interesting. If that was what we are case study, because I hope not. I generally like to think that
mm,
actually there is a relaxed, at home attitude in so many restaurants, and that's what they used to. But there's that unawareness of the
yeah.
money potential they're losing versus, and I think the case study was literally like I said up the road. There's a line outside of a Thai restaurant, and people are waiting to get in and they can't get in. And right next door is an empty Caribbean restaurant with a broken glass and a woman
Mm.
watching TV. And it's like, man, like these people, they know they can't get in this restaurant, but they're hoping someone leaves early so they might just squeeze in. But they won't even think, you
Mm,
know what? Let me just actually have the. Let me actually go to the Caribbean restaurant because it's literally
yeah.
it's next door. It's like it's empty. It's like it's night and day. And I thought
Yeah.
this is quite shocking, really. And I did try to give the sister advice, but it's too late. Um,
And I think, sorry,
go on, go on,
I,
go on.
I think one of the issues that we have as well, Raven, when it comes to food,
Yeah.
like I said, because I worked in food, um, what we've got to get over is the idea of wasting food,
Yes.
right? So what tends to happen, like for example, if you have a shop, a Caribbean shop, and
Mm,
generally speaking, they feel that okay, we don't get much customers for whatever reason it may be, right?
mm,
So they're gonna cook less and put less on the menu, right?
yes.
So that's why things are not available. So they'll be like, okay, so I'm not cooking so much, blah blah blah, because it always wastes. So
Yeah.
instead of them thinking about, they're more focused on what they're wasting rather than trying to sell the food,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And then what will happen is you're more likely to get food that's been reheated the next day or maybe the day after because you don't really know what's happening behind the scenes, right? So
Yeah.
on a positive one, so obviously we have to take some sort of accountability to understand that, listen, like when we're running these food businesses, yeah, or businesses in general, we have to be on point. We cannot just open businesses and just assume or just sort of have this kind of sense of entitlement that just because we're black, black folk have to come in there. That's not how it works. Like we can't keep thinking that way. That as much as it would be nice, but we can't keep thinking, oh, just because we're black, you have to come in there. No, you have to provide a service that people want. That is it.
Yeah.
90% of my client base is black. I do not have an issue with black people supporting me. I don't, because I give them what they want. If you stop giving people what they want, and it could be whether it's customer service or the actual product itself, black black people or anyone in general won't come to you, and no one's obliged to come to you. Nobody has to do it, right? So, like I said, what needs to change is first of all the attitude. Before the actual customer service training, the attitude needs to change, because if you train someone in customer service, but their attitude is already off by default, all they'll do is just sit the course, and then when they go back to work, they'll just carry on the same way. I've seen that happen, and that actually wasn't with a Caribbean person. But just generally speaking, it's about the individual. Like they have to want to do it. Like they just like you can't. Some things you can't necessarily learn, if that makes sense. It's interpersonal skills. Sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
You can't
It's
be taught it.
personality stuff that does
Right.
play, but we definitely want to get some kind of like training, and maybe
Right.
it's
So that's
maybe picking who's actually on the counter, the first touch of
right.
contact is key to
Right.
a business.
Because that's right. So that's really important. Who's first point of contact? Put the most
Yeah,
friendliest person at the front.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and
These are
also
miserable people at the back on the stove or something. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, that makes sense, mate. But and I think maybe, and also obviously seeing success, seeing success in your teammates, that might be something beneficial. But a lot of this stuff is family run and stuff. Let's see the question. Trading as a black business can have many different dynamics. Very true. Who's this? Okay, I see it there in the shawarma shops. I've seen other ethnicities get treated differently when ordering their food. So what you're saying is that in other cultural shops, they do have a dynamic of treating different ethnicities differently. You're saying yes, please, sir, madam, even on holidays in other countries, special hotels. Are you saying that on average it's better? You're saying they treat black customers different on that? Let us know. But yeah, so obviously black people, the African and the black Caribbean diaspora is big, and obviously I've had to shop in. I've worked in the food trade, doing apps and stuff for years, and I've also had many meetings and stuff in restaurants. Well, I've had quite a lot. So I've been to many, and I literally search out different ethnic black restaurants, whatever. So I've been to Ethiopian, Ugandan, Congolese, Nigerian, Jamaican. Um, you know what? It'd be interesting. Have I been to many other, like, I think Trinidadian? Yes. I'm trying to think of. It would be good to see more like Saint Lucian, Dominican, and Ghanaian or something. But I think I've been Ghanaian. But what I would say is my experience in Ethiopia is very different, and I think with Ethiopia, because a lot of their food is vegan and vegetarian friendly, they have a lot of hipsters and Europeans and Indians, whatever, who will go in there, and so and also how I've seen Ethiopian restaurants handle customers and stuff. They're onto a winner from what I've seen. I've been to two Ugandans. Ugandans. I loved it. I love it. I mean, it's not it's only a few, but I think I think with Nigerians, Nigerian restaurants seem to be very comfortable with Nigerian customers because there's probably a high population of Nigerian customers, so they can be more Nigerian centered in how they approach things. Jamaican restaurants or Caribbean restaurants, there is a comfortability that needs that, as we're talking about now. I do think that that's something that we should be a priority, as in like how, because Caribbean food is a very popular type of food. So really maximizing how you interact with customers can really improve your finance. And I think the brother Lee was saying that there was some shops he's passed himself and seeing that there's very problematic tendencies within the actual establishment. So I would recommend, I mean, you obviously don't want to cause arguments, whatever, but kindly offering advice. And I've just did that myself. This show is spared because I ordered something for my family and it came out 4 hours late. And literally 4 hours late after ringing up and trying to whatever. And I spoke
Sorry,
to
Raven. Did you say 4 hours?
yeah, so it literally was for, and that's the thing. I'll be honest. With me, I'm very kind. Like there's certain things I do for myself where I might not complain for whatever reason, but when it's for other family members, like that's why I can't say, "Oh no, you can't come." And then obviously the sister was saying, it's not the fault; it's the fault of the cabs or the car service. And all this kind of stuff. But I said, look, we're gonna have to talk afterwards because I don't know if you've done this for me. I'm sure you've done it for other people. And these review services, they will review. People will review bomb your establishment, and people do take stuff. So yeah, so family, we're talking about. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know, when you said 4 hours, it actually reminded me of one time. This was probably about over 10 years ago. Me and my missus, we ordered some food from somewhere we've never ordered before,
Yeah.
and it took after about an hour, we're giving them a ring. The lady picks up the phone, says, "Oh, sorry." The her interpersonal skills was really good, but the service was absolutely diabolical.
Yeah.
And in the end, it was about 3 hours late. So you beat me by an hour, yeah.
But
But
yeah, no,
I realized that it was the same lady that was on the phone that actually came to deliver the food.
wow.
So imagine she's actually was in the kitchen cooking it,
Yeah.
prepared it,
Yeah.
and jumped in the car and drove it to the house. And I was like, this is insane. And I'm
That
not
is
being
insane.
funny. Sorry, the food was horrible. It
That-
was horrible.
Well, she probably didn't have enough time to really do a good job if she's doing three things at once, right? That's mad. But yeah, I've got. Here's what it is. Obviously, I've had bad services in different different cultural food groups, whatever. But I am seeing a consistency in Caribbean of certain stuff, and that's where I really want to tackle this. But yeah, no, this guy's. I ordered this thing about what 4 or 5 ish. It just came before the show started.
Yeah,
That's why
that's
they
crazy.
tried to shift the topic. You know what I mean?
No, to be honest with you, I think what the issue is, Raven, is obviously this is like a sort of caricature stereotype that's across the board, and it does have some, it has truth in it, like it's
Yeah.
across the board. But I think that it's time that some serious accountability is put into place. If you're not on point, we just won't shop there. That's it.
Yeah.
Like we can't keep doing this. Like we can't keep having this reputation across the board that we don't know what we're doing in business. Just put it like that. We do not know what we're doing in business. Like we can't keep that stereotype up, and like it's
No.
got to change. And I feel like on a positive one to try and fix it, there should be some sort of I don't know, maybe a customer service kind of what do you call it? A sort of seminar
Yeah.
where they're actually bringing people there who actually has businesses and get them to say, okay, what's your business? What is it? Blah blah blah, and start talking about their branding and uniforms and how do they speak to customers and stuff like that. Get them to do like little sort of role play stuff and stuff because all this stuff has to change. I mean, as much as other communities, like say like for example, the Asian community are very big on business, but they're not our friends. But they know how to sort of treat us in a way that we keep going there. The
Yeah.
price is
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They will. I mean, you will have some that are a bit off and stuff like that, but generally speaking, you know, they'll be like, my friend, no, we don't have that, my friend, but would you like this, my friend? You know, they're really sort of attentive to your needs, whether they
Yeah.
like you or not. Business is business, and it's not a friend thing, is. So whether they like you or not, they're very attentive. They know how to do business, and that's anywhere you go where they are. Like I've been to Spain and Portugal, and there's been Asian guys from here that have gone out there to set up business, and they're exactly the same. And then when we take business and go places, we are exactly the same as well. Just using it as a side hustle. It's not really business. There's no expansion. There's no like seriousness in it. It's just to say, oh, I have my own business, and that's it. And I think it's ridiculous. And we need to step up from there, or maybe something that we're not capitalist by nature, which is why I've thought about this as well. Like, are we not? Is it a thing where we're not capitalist by nature? So when it comes to business and stuff like that, we don't sort of treat it like how others treat business.
Well, that's an interesting theory to unpack. And the bro, oh, that is a black guy. Yeah, is that a black guy? Where's his brother from? So yeah, I was just checking. Okay, I'm just checking. So let me read some of the comments. there was a joint in Brighton. The food wasn't all that. I'm sure it was okay, who knows? But people used to go there for the lady, Mama Cherry. She was on Gordon Ramsay's show. It's just the show. Interaction goes on. Yeah. I took so Google Mama Cherries if you're at home. Very, very interesting. Very, I think I remember. Oh, you're on there already, right? Yeah, it's cool. Oh, yeah. Is it Dominic? Are you on the? I'm trying to get. So let me get rid of this. Oh, you're on there already. Good. I was thinking you were on there. Sorry, bro. Yeah, no. Check out Mama Cherry. Very looks like a very warm character. Also, you said there's a Caribbean food chain called Turtle Bay. I've been to Turtle Bay. You know what I found it? I couldn't tell you what foods were like because it took so long. This is
That's an Asian food chain, man.
I
That's
was
not
gonna say because
Caribbean.
the name looks Asian. The guy, I mean, he shaves his head and he's dark skinned brother, so he could pass but his name looks
Turtle
like.
Bay. No, it's
Is it?
not a Caribbean place. Man.
No, it's not. I was
That's
told
Asian
that
food.
this. Yeah. Let me type. Let me start India. So I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, this is not. And that's another thing. There's a lot of Caribbean establishments run by Asians of different types, or Chinese, Korean, or Indian,
Yeah.
and that shows you that the food is definitely wanted. So the people who should be specializing in it is. Oh yeah, he's from Sri Lanka. So the brother who owns Turtle Bay is from Sri Lanka. Yeah. Okay. Zulia, yeah, it's good. Yes, we've got the fact checkers there. Big up. That's what we like about the Black Bear broadcast with the fact checkers. Big up, brother Dominic. Welcome to Black Bear broadcast. Welcome.
Yeah, hi, lady. Can you hear me?
I can indeed. It's good to hear your voice, family.
Yeah, it's good to hear you too, Raven. And, yeah, great show as always. I was basically going to reiterate what Lee was saying, is that
Yes.
I think personally as well that I think a lot of black businesses need to have like a course that they can go into for customer service, because I've worked in customer service for many years, and what I've noticed is that you have to look at a business in any ways from the perspective of customers have to come first, because that's who you're serving. And
Yes.
I think a lot of black businesses, they look at, I don't even think they look at customers as customers. They look at them as friends who are just in the community coming to just use their service. Because the way you look at your own business is the way you're going to showcase it out to people. If you don't look at it as an actual business, and you just see it as, like Lee was saying, like a side hustle, you're going to give side hustle customer service. Do you get what I mean? It's not going to be with policies, for example. Like, there's a lot of businesses that I've been to, and maybe I've had an issue or whatnot, and there's always been a policy in place to protect me or to give me a service. This is white businesses I'm talking about now, yeah? But when I've gone into a black business and there might have been a big issue or a small issue, they don't know what to do. It's like, let's see what we can do or something like that. There's no policies that they have in place to follow a guideline.
Good. I'm writing this down here. And the French you said it, because literally as I rang this restaurant to say why has the food not come in 3 hours, the chef answered, or he said he was a chef. He was panicking and he was telling me the owner will come and deliver your food, and like the protocol would be. I mean, it would be nice maybe if they gave me a free lunch, for the, but no, that
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just to keep you, you might not be satisfied because you might not have got what you wanted, but if you can see or not will feel that they've gone out their way to give you something out of courtesy because they didn't give you the service you want, you can say to yourself as the customer, you know what, I didn't get what I wanted, and maybe they can't give me exactly what I want now, but I can see they're going out of their way to rectify the problem in some sort of way, because as a customer, you're going to remember that. Now, everyone knows as a customer, you can have like good moments in customer service, yeah? Like you can go into, let's say, a supermarket, yeah? And when you walk in, you have a good vibe or good experience, we'll call it, good experience, yeah? But it takes one small, bad, negative experience to ruin the whole thing.
Yes.
But the whole experience, 90% or 95% of it was good, but one small thing can ruin it. Now everyone knows as well, appearance is what you go into for a business, yeah?
Mm.
But quality is what you come back for.
Yes.
That's the fundamentals in
Facts.
business, yeah?
Yes.
I've studied it, I've done many courses, I'm very into entrepreneurship, get my words right, entrepreneurship and business
Mm-hmm.
and economics. And when I go into black businesses, it's not all, I'm not going to say all black businesses are the same, but what they don't have is the fundamental skills of business. They don't even know why they're probably in it, except for the economics of getting money. But money won't keep you at float at best. It actually takes a strategy and tactics of what you're providing, how you're going to market it, and how you're going to retain customers. Because retaining is the biggest thing, and it's the hardest thing as well.
Right.
And that's what black
It's all
businesses
about
don't have, in my opinion, is retaining.
Mm.
yeah, 'cause it's all about building relationships with customers in the first place. So you've got to be
Yeah,
able to
that,
build relationships. Once you build relationships, then you build a client for life. Like that's how it works.
Very
You know
true.
what I mean? And
Very true.
obviously you deliver the proper sort of service and stuff. You know, I mean, as I says, when it comes to our stuff, we need to sort the attitude out because we can have
yeah,
all the customer service training that they could give us, but if the right people are not there and we don't have the correct attitude, then it's just going to keep going left all the time. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're doing the customer service training, all you're getting is information. But if you're very arrogant, you don't care about the information. Tomorrow you're going to work and you're just going to
yeah,
carry
it's
on
true.
business as normal. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've seen it in the flesh, and this actually wasn't with a black person. This was when I was working in catering for a massive college, and there was a lady, a European lady, and she was a nice lady to me. I got on really well with her, but she just could not. Her customer service was absolutely a shambles. She was absolutely horrible, and they sent her on about 3 courses, and she come back, and she just couldn't change because that's just how she is. She was a 60, early 60s lady, and that's just how she was. She couldn't change herself. So I'm saying that have we
She
got a
shouldn't be
group
in the
of people
business.
out here have we got a majority of us out here that have businesses that are like that? Is that what is actually happening?
Mm.
Mm.
Like that's what I need to understand because it's not hard. I mean, if you're investing a lot of money into your business, then it should be really important to do stuff to attain that and build that. Like you shouldn't be thinking, okay, I'm going to invest £10,000 into this black business and just think that it's just going to run just because you're black and you're just going to treat people with contempt. That's not really how it's going to go. And to be fair, just like the brother said, I'm not going to say all of the sort of black businesses because there's actually one up nearby me, and when you go in there, the customer service is okay. It's
Mm.
actually okay. She's quite attentive, and the food's quite decent. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it's decent. Like, do you know what I mean? And across the board, it's a decent shop. So big up Unique Cuisine, not far from me, right? But generally speaking, the customer service it really needs to be sorted out, and I
Well,
think management needs to get a little nudge. Do you know what I mean?
I think something that obviously there's always exceptions to the rules, and there are some like the brothers mentioned, there's some fantastic Caribbean, African restaurants, whatever. But I think what we could do is if we highlight the ones that do it really well, and we go out of our way to
Mhm,
promote those, then at least we know we're
mhm.
setting the standard that the community wants. So we're saying that this is the gold standard or a good standard,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that might be one way of trying to highlight what's important and what's needed. Very important.
But
Well,
again,
it,
Raven,
it it depends on the owner.
Mm,
How bad does the owner care? Because
yeah.
if they don't
right? That's
care,
what I was just
they're
about
not
to
going to put
say.
them principles in.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we struggle with the attitude
Yes.
with
Yeah,
everything. If we're going to be honest, so I'm saying once you prop up the businesses that are doing well, all it's going to create on the other side is animosity. It's not going to, for the most part, it's not going to create, okay, bloody hell, this is what they're doing. Okay, let's try and fix this, fix that. It's just pure attitude. Oh, I see all them still, and my going with this, and da, da, da. Like, this is how we have a problem.
Yeah.
Like we do have a problem. We can't get around it. And this isn't me being negative. I'm just pointing it out. And we do have a problem when it comes to people. When if I've done something incorrect with a client, yeah, they don't pay. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my policy. If you're not happy, you're not paying.
Yeah, no,
It's just simple.
but like I said, highlighting the issue is part one, and part two is what is a strategy to teach an old dog new tricks, I guess, to reform an old dog. And I think that's kind of where we need to be at, because I've seen I've seen Caribbean shops close down, and I don't want to see that. And I've seen Eastern European shops open up. I don't really shop in Eastern European places, but these are spots where there were once Caribbean fans. As you're saying, there is people. I think someone said beautiful looking Turtle Bay, and it's not run by it's run by Shrinken. So I think he owns Iguana as well. He owns another one franchise as well. I think Iguana or something. I can't remember, something like this. But yeah, it's this is the thing. But the thing is, listen. This has been an age-old problem, and highlighting the issue, listing it, and presenting it. And yeah, well, the thing is, you say courses hasn't worked on certain people, but it would be good if we had influencers in this area. So influencers in the area of public relations and customer service and PR and this kind of stuff, whatever. If we had people in that field, or we could create that, or cultivate that would be cool. Big up Love Love, She Reigns. Big up Buddha Bring. Go.
Sorry. Because I think one of the issues is as well, like the reason why I keep saying attitude, and I'm not going to move off it, is because the same shop that I was talking about that has so much potential, and it has no menu, and the shop's been open for I don't really understand it. So, but I had a conversation with him one time, a very brief one, and it wasn't in any sort of bad faith or stuff like that, because I do understand how to talk to people as well. So I was really tactful, and I was trying to say to him that I can't remember what it was I was saying to him, but it was about more stuff on the menu and blah blah blah. And the way he responded, he just didn't take it well at all.
Yes.
And I was being really positive. I wasn't. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I imagine my missus wanted a mutton soup. That was it. And we went to the shop 3 times in the space of 2 weeks. And all she was craving was a mutton soup. That's when she was pregnant.
Yes.
And she never did get one. So the 3rd time I went there, there was no mutton soup. I'm asking him, do they actually cook mutton soup? And he said, yeah, we cook it sometimes and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, but it's on the menu. I'm like, okay. I said, listen, we've come here, and I'm smiling with him saying, listen, we've come here 3 times. I keep coming here consistently because my missus is heavily pregnant and she wants some mutton soup. And we live up the road. And it was like, oh, well, sometime we might cook it next week. And I'm thinking, mate, are you actually okay? What it is, he didn't really it. The thing is in life, you don't actually know who you're talking to. He doesn't know that I'm a level 3 customer service. I've done catering, but I didn't say that to him. I'm not trying to put him in a situation, but I'm looking, thinking this is actually insane. And then what we did after that, he ended up going down the road and going to Asian food shop.
Yeah.
And this is our problem. So when I'm saying what I'm saying about the attitude, they don't care.
Yeah.
Does he
far as
know
they're concerned,
that
a lot of the
to
time.
another shop?
Sorry?
I was going to say, does he know that you went to another shop afterwards?
I would imagine he assumed, but he doesn't care. That's what I'm trying to explain. He doesn't care.
Yeah, then he won't grow. He won't grow.
As far as a lot of our business are concerned, I'm going to tell you straight. And someone's actually a black business person actually said it to me, right? They sort of have in their head a certain amount that they make a month time, like their wage or something. So, for example, they'll be like, as long as we make £1,500 a month, we're business enough. That's it. This is the sickness that we're dealing with. We gotta keep this thing straight. We can't go around it. We're trying to better them, but we have to. You see, in the process of bettering ourselves, we have to highlight and hold accountable the madness. We can't go around it. How is a man saying to me that as long as he earns £1,500 a month, he's good? I'm looking at this as mental health now. this is somewhere else. Customer service can't sort this out because he's already set his bar that as long as he's
Yeah,
earning
yeah, you
£1,500,
hit it
he's
with a
good.
nail hammer.
So even when he is treating his customers with content, he's still getting £1,500 a month down the line. That's it. He's happy with that. He pays his bills, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be, whatever he declares and stuff like that, and he's good. He doesn't need no more. He doesn't want to wake up an extra hour early. He doesn't want to cook any other dishes. He's just happy cooking one pot of rice, one pot of this, and buying some patties from Amazon and bringing it in there, and heating it up. Like we gotta keep this thing real. Like this is what is happening out here. Do you know what I'm saying? So we can't fix that with a
Microwave in the
customer service
patties.
call because the attitude, right? We can't fix this thing with a customer service call because the attitude is incorrect going into business in the first place. And this is the problem. There was another shop, and I'm not trying to attack us. I'm just trying to explain where we're at in order to try and treat the symptoms in it. So there was another shop which I'm not going to name because actually the food's actually quite good. But there's another shop, and it actually made me feel sick because this shop in Birmingham actually has a patty factory.
Right.
Right. Now, this is very key, so bear this in mind. So this is a black food shop, and they have at the side, well, not at the side, but they also have a factory, right? And their patties were absolutely banging, right? So I used to go there every week and buy patties, right? And then what started to happen is I started to go there, and they had no patties. They didn't have the patties that I wanted, and the ones that I did want, they were in very serious condition, right? But I didn't know that they actually had a patty factory. So I'm trying to say to them, like, where's the patties go? What's going on with the patties? And they actually had a Polish guy that started working there. Now, this Polish guy, his customer service was on point. So he's running around the shop like a headless chicken, yeah? And he's banging out the customers, right? And this, for some sick reason, is now starting to upset the other members of staff. That I don't understand it, right? So then I'm saying to the Polish guy, I says, "What's happening with the patties?" Like blah blah blah, and he says, "Look, he's leaving soon because the gaffer's actually he's trying to get rid of him, right? Because he says that they actually have a patty factory." And I'm saying they have a patty factory. So why have you got a patty factory but you got no patties? It's not confusing.
Yeah.
And he says he's been trying to tell the owners and this and that, blah blah blah. But the owners are again attitude. So the owners, he's looking at the business holistically, right? He's seeing what the customers are asking for and he's seeing that it's not there, but you have a blasted factory. This doesn't make sense, right? So when he's trying to get onto the management about the patty situation, they're telling him about his club and telling him, "Oh, him no know nothing," and why if him no mind sharp and gone. So obviously after a couple of weeks he was gone. But I found that very, very interesting. And like this is why I keep going back to the attitude. You cannot teach a good attitude. This is something that is just imprinted in you. Do you know what I mean? In other words, some black businesses, some of us just should not have businesses. I'm just gonna put it like that.
Yeah.
The ones of us that should have businesses are the ones that actually work for institutions that are really good at their job. They should be pulled out and put them in the face of business.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's
I
what
hear. Yeah, I mean, interesting things there, really. But the truth of it is, though,
insane.
we need to have. I would strongly recommend we do have PDFs and videos of training. But you're right; it's not everyone you can reach. Some people they're
Right.
good at cooking food and they've started a restaurant, but maybe they don't have the best customer service. But it's key,
Right.
and what Brother Lee was saying as well for those joining is that some people that have a set amount of money they make a month, and if they've made that, then they're more relaxed.
They're good.
They're
Yeah.
good. You know, it's
And if they don't make that, and if they don't make that, black people don't support me.
yeah.
Like, do you understand? This is where we're at.
Yeah. I'm not laughing because it's funny, but it's just you gotta laugh because it's a what mindset to think like that.
Right.
I didn't make my 1,500 this month or this week or whatever. Black people are not supporting me now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he should be looking outside the shop left and right and see where customers are going because
Right.
how you, like you said with attitude, how you do everything is how you do everything. If you're sloppy at home,
Right.
the odds are you'll be sloppy in your business. you know. And you see
100%.
with people with bad attitudes, like, are they being hired? And if they are being hired, then the problem is the person hiring, because you should pick this up straight away that the attitude problems are going to come into your business. A clear example is, what's their name? Crep and Conan, yeah? They had a dessert place in Croydon, which is where I'm from, yeah? And that shop was open, I don't know, for a year or two. And Raven, you played the video, I think maybe a month or 2 months ago, yeah? Because obviously they opened a big supermarket up in Croydon, yeah? And I think Crep was saying that some of the staff were having fights in the back of the building. Some of them were smoking weed. Some of them were eating food. Yeah, and he was saying this is going on for long. Yeah, but I'm saying that you must not be in the business to see this. Yeah, and he's saying that it was 95% of the staff. So I get it. You want to give opportunities to our people. I get that. Yeah, but it actually shows a reflection of how you're hiring, because it looks like you're just bringing in anyone. Yeah. And
Because
the key word let me just land with this. Let me land with this.
Yeah, go on.
The key word for black businesses that I don't think most have, I'll say two. Yes, that attitude, but the number one is for me is professionalism. It is out the window. Nothing's professional. Everything is just casual. You know, coming when you can, sort of thing.
100.
You know? If
you know why that's
if you're strict, it'll work. Like, you have policies, all that kind of thing, them guidelines, and you'll run it like a business. You'll get business results. Yeah.
right.
But you hit it with a nail
100%.
and hammer when you said about my man's good with 15K a month.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You don't worry about nothing. It's good, man. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's funny what you just said. And and this is what I was saying about sort of like uniform and professionalism, as you just said, because the first time I was doing barbering for myself, I was doing it mobile, right? So I was already doing my full-time job, generally speaking, and I've done this as a side hustle. And it was very evident that it was a side hustle because everyone knew that I was in other professionals. I used to be a bus driver, motorcycle instructor, etc., etc., etc. Right. So people knew this of me, but knew that I cut hair as well. So they knew that it was outside. I used to pull up outside the house. I'm in my normal clothes, tracksuit, or whatever the case may be. My supposed to there them also at 10 o'clock. We knock on the door, them said them just like it top, then maybe last week for it. It was all of that madness. Yeah. So I sat down in the drawing board and I says, you know something, let me go back. How do you make yourself seem more appear more professional? Then I went back, back to the drawing board, uniform, this and that, the Tyra, social media, and the whole thing just changed.
Yeah,
People took it much more seriously. Yeah, just take it more seriously. Don't get me wrong, you will have people that will mess you about because, like I said, 90% of my clients they look like me. So sometimes, again, our attitude is a little bit, I would have there's certain clients that I might have that, say, for example, they book me for 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock come and gone, and I don't see them. We look on the ring doorbell 5 minutes later, then they might phone me, then I roll up and say, oh, it's traffic, all casual. And they're not realizing that, hang on a minute, I've got someone booked in a slot straight after you. So, like, we can't keep doing this. Do you know what I mean? And it's, like I said, even looking at our people as clientele, as customers, sometimes it's problematic as well. You know what I mean? There's just something about our attitude in general that really needs to be sorted out because we have like an entitlement mentality a lot of the times. So it's almost like, okay, I'm paying you your money, so yeah, just cool, man. I'm coming, man. You're gonna get your money. And for me, it's not necessarily about that. I enjoy doing what I'm doing, but I run a system. That's it. And if you're not complying with the system, when you book card, I'm just gonna reject you. You get 3 strikes with me. If you play me about 3 times, and you're lucky if it's 3, depends on how bad it is. I just won't. I will let you know what it is, and I will just reject your appointment because people will also take your business for joke. When a black business is taking a business serious, the customers sometimes start to move sideways. It's a crazy cycle.
Yeah, true.
The thing we're saying a lot of things there, and we, and it's like, well, I asked a question, about Caribbean restaurants, customer service. It seems, across the board, people understand that there is an issue. But at the same token, we have to have solutions. We have to point people to some directions. And also in the hiring process, like maybe people are hiring friends and people from certain places, but maybe just like there is a high collection of well thriving Black people who don't know each other, and that's why like even this place here now, like the way we set up this forum here is for constructive solution based dialogue, forward thinking. So this already is one network where if you're trying to start something, at least you can come here and pronounce it because there's a certain type of mindset that seems to be around it. So trying to find that mindset who have those same values would be key if you're building a brand and you don't want your chef to fight your waiter or to smoke this and that. Because the thing is, there is tons and tons of Black people who are constructive and they have their mind screwed on. But it's just making sure that they know each other. So when we're trying to update certain things, we know where to look. That's very key and important. And also things like PDFs and videos that we can point to us. So we say, look, sister, brother, there's a website. Here's a website. Here's a YouTube channel. If you go in there, right, this guy gives amazing advice. Or here's a download that's really good for improving, money potential in the Streatham area, in the Lewisham area, because here's how much other companies are making. Well, I suspect you're not making as much, and this you could really capitalize on this, that kind of stuff, right? Now,
they want to improve those.
Go ahead, brother Dominic. You say again?
No, I was just saying that's if they want to improve, because you can give, like Lee was saying earlier, you can give all this information out, but if someone thinks, nah, I don't need this information, I know how to deal with customers, because that's how they've always dealt with customers or their business.
Yeah.
Even if they go and watch the videos, the moment that video is done, it's back to normal service, because
I would say this.
Some people are just stuck in their own way.
Very true. I would say this. What I try to do is I try to talk to the vendor owners or the company owners, all the people on the desk, whatever, about pain points. Like when I met this sister just now, her husband runs this business, another one, and she came into she delivered it because the delivery man left or whatever. But when we were talking, she went straight into her pain points about problems with the app she's using to sell the stuff. You don't have full control over who's delivering it. Also, the amount they're taking as a cut versus how much they take McDonald's is almost like 50% more or something like this. And her husband's complaining about the money he's losing month to month. So if you hear people talk about their pain points and you're skilled or you have advice, you have connections, offer it. Like there's so little Black businesses out in the world or in UK or wherever that you should treat like a unicorn when you meet one, and really, take your time as part of your Black Betterment build to just, give advice on the area expertise in the area that you specialize in and stuff. I think that would be a good idea. That's what I try to do. Now, family, we're joined by Brother Dominic and Brother Lee. They've given us amazing inside scoops on economics and business etiquette and customer service. So we want to give thanks to them. Now, then, brothers are welcome to stay on. We've got half an hour left in the show. Now, family, others are welcome to jump in. No, just nothing. If there's any topics that people want us to cover, let us know, because there's certain people that they specialize in certain things, and maybe we're not covering the stuff they specialize in. So if there's anything they wish to talk about to highlight or learn about, let us know. Then that probably will prod more people to want to jump in and give their opinion. Remember, there was a brother. I talked to a lot of brothers and sisters on Instagram and these kind of apps where they message me directly. I invite all of them on, but a lot of them, it takes their time. But there was one brother who was going to jump on, but I think it wasn't really his time yet. But we do try to make the topics, something that people can jump in on. Or if there's something you want to hear, let us know. Now it's not doing good. We're going to end it by talking the importance of young Black innovation. We discussed the importance of motivating the young to innovate in tech and business. So I came across some videos that we'll play. And anyone can jump in if they want. Let me see. What is this? Fast food? What's that? Nope, that's the song. Nigerian kids.
Hey, brothers, sorry, I'm gonna have to say good night to you, brothers. Big up for having me on. Like I
Thanks.
said, it was a topic that I found was quite, yeah, I needed to get involved. I'm normally in the comments anyway, but listen, big up yourselves.
Big up, family.
I'll be in the back, in the comments and stuff like that. But
Excellent.
yeah, all I was saying is we need to do better. Hopefully, we can sort of have some ideas of how to sort of fix it or something like that. I'm a little bit, I'm not too optimistic about it, but hopefully we can sort it out. Do you know what I mean? But
Thank you, family. Thank you for
yeah,
contribution,
good
brother.
night, family. Yeah.
Hope to see you back
Big up,
again. Big up, fam.
All right, then, man. Yeah, man. Big up, man. Big up.
The idea has been brewing in this classroom among some of the youngest brains in the capital, Lagos. These 14 and 15-year-old students are hoping waste doesn't go to waste. The building of their new urine-powered generator is being closely monitored by their teachers. It separates hydrogen from urine. The hydrogen is then purified, dried and pushed into the generator. It can produce up to 6 hours of electricity per litre of human waste. People in Nigeria have been facing petrol price hikes, a shortage, and seen fuel subsidies cut in the past. Other power options are too pricey for many. So if this idea from the classroom can be developed on a larger scale, it may be the light at the end of the tunnel for millions of households.
We got the sisters in Nigeria. They're trying to turn waste into energy. So young, for 15, 14, I can't do that, but they did. So, you know, if you're trying to influence your kids to try to innovate in the needs of the surroundings, it's good to see that. Let's see if there's any more kid stuff. What's this? Nigerian schools, soap, fast food, Three Brothers. I don't know what that was, but let's see the soap. I think this is actually, what is this one? Ethiopian kid who's made skin cancer soap, I think it was. He's from
People who perspire often inspire. Take, for example, this 15-year-old Ethiopian-born teenager, Heyman Bekele, who has been declared as Time Magazine's 2024 Kid of the Year for his remarkable work in developing a groundbreaking soap that could potentially change the face of skin cancer treatment. Well, his fascination with chemistry began with the Christmas gift set, which led him to explore chemical reactions and instilled within him a dream of creating a limitless energy source. However, a near-fire accident taught him the value of caution. Born in Ethiopia and raised in the US, Heyman drew inspiration from his childhood memories of laborers working in the sun to develop a soap that prevents skin damage. After learning about imiquimod, a skin cancer-fighting drug, Heyman began brainstorming ways to make it more accessible. He discovered that imiquimod, usually prescribed as a cream, could potentially be delivered through a simple and affordable bar of soap. All he wanted was to make it more affordable and straightforward solution for individuals in the early stages of the disease, compared to the costly $40,000 treatment plans typically prescribed. For nearly 6 months now, Heyman and a molecular biologist have been conducting preliminary research on mice, including skin cancer in the animals, and applying soap to observe its effects. They are now poised to conduct a controlled experiment testing the imiquimod soap against melanoma, a type of skin cancer, to evaluate its efficacy.
Looking at innovations in children, look at that Ethiopian brother based in the States who was making a soap to treat melanoma, cancer, and this kind of stuff. And we're just looking at young individuals who innovation. It's a good thing to try to teach the youth to, progress, learn maths, business, economics, that good stuff.
In the next 5 years, Heyman aims to hone his innovative approach and establish a charitable organization that will distribute this low-cost solution to people in need. No doubt, his incredible work in the field of skin cancer research has led him to this recognition. And that's how this talented kid has earned the 3M Young Scientist Challenge Award and a $25,000 prize in 2023. and going by his research, many more accolades await. What is your take on this incredible discovery of his? Do let us know in the comments. And
All right, big up the brother there. We was talking about the importance of teaching your children, to innovate, to learn, making. There was, actually, there was that. Did I even change that one? There was something I wanted to play as well, slightly similar. Open the video. I know I had it. I know it. So unless I didn't change the name, Nigerian kid, Nigerian school. That's why, because there's too many Nigerian names. So this is a rapper or singer or something like this from Nigeria called sort of.
When I was 6, I remember going.
This is this man's opinion. We've all got similar sort of things when it comes to learning and being smart, but this is his thing of.
When I came to the U.S. when I was 6, I remember going to school here and realizing that in America, the coolest kids were not necessarily the smart kids. In Nigeria, when I was growing up, the coolest kids, the ones that here might be the jocks or whatnot, they were the smartest because the teacher would read your report card in front of everybody and say your last name. And that's how you knew what everybody scored on the test. So the cool kids were the top. In America, it wasn't the same. And so I had to hide for survival so I wouldn't get bullied my intelligence.
So he's saying his experience, obviously there's dynamics in where he was, but saying that his experience was, not necessarily flaunting he was smart or wanted to learn. That's something you want to watch, making being intelligent the thing to be, putting emphasis on that. And obviously, trying to reverse any scenarios where people think learning isn't cool, set you back. Yeah, even on paper, you can tell something that can't last and can't really be professional. But we do want to promote kids doing constructive things and all that good stuff. I also came across this video. I don't know what it's 3 brothers. I don't know what they're doing, but I don't know what this is about. But it's 3 brothers, so I downloaded it. I didn't really. So something about buildings or something. I don't know what this is. Let's see.
It's Jay.
3 brothers from South London are leading a property revolution.
Someone's life's about to change.
Lots of people we know will never own their own home.
Buying a house in this economy, impossible.
They just can't afford it.
You need a lot of money to put down a deposit.
So we give them a chance to win one instead. You won.
What is this, a game show? So I don't know what it is. Is it a game show so to win a house?
We find a dream house.
I like the decor.
This is really good. And we sell tickets.
Get involved, bro.
It's exhausting.
1 lucky ticket, 1 lucky winner.
Oh, so it's like a lottery for a house.
We all got a part to play in this one.
Well, what's so funny, man?
Dan's like a dictator.
Damn right. We're not failing here.
If you've got an idea, try it.
Jason is salesman.
Yeah.
Extraordinaire.
Is that how you describe me?
Uncle, how's it going, man?
Will is like a pessimist.
I wouldn't agree with that, but...
Look at this.
Okay, don't know what that was, but big up those 3 brothers there. All right, welcome to Black Bear Broadcast. We've covered 2 topics today, which are black customer service in Caribbean and African restaurants. Get rid of that, please. Just gonna, where is it? Is that one? That one. And the importance of young black innovation. Just a quick there of innovative things that the young community have done all over the world. And definitely the importance of emphasizing learning. If you have children, learning is key. You would want your children to get further than you did. If that is possible, that would be a good thing. That's how you have progressional communities, because your children inherit what you've got, or they take what you're doing to the next step. That's why we're big on black love, black families, black economics, and constructive, and living long and being healthy, so you can pass things down and you can be a icon to be monitored and to be observed and trained and all that good stuff. The importance of and then we're also saying that if you wish to talk about anything, let us know. Remember, this Black Bear broadcast is for the people, it's for the community. This is once a time a week where we can talk about stuff and find solutions and learn how to progress. We're joined this week by Brother Lee and Brother Dominic. Brother Dominic, a very important contributor to the show. And we thank him extra for coming and give us extra game on customer service and just things to work on when it comes to facing customers in the business world. We also highlighted in Ilford. Remember, if there's any business that you want to highlight, let us know. Came across this one. Big up to the contributor who sent me this.
Caribbean version of Costco's. Cool.
Abbey Global. That L looks like it's disappeared. They need to
Abbey Global, come follow me
the L's disappeared. Hopefully we can raise a fund to get that.
real quick, innit?
Looks like Abbey Global, which sounds more African.
Brother. Man basically said black-owned Afro-Caribbean Costco, you know. Please believe we made the mistake of coming in here when we were hungry.
So Costco is a place you go to get things in bulk. So this must be that kind of similar thing.
Bet.
So maybe like restaurants will go here to get stuff out of the street.
Picking up every item in the shop. Where's your self-control? These men had stuff like instant puff mix, Dunn's River seasonings. Man even saw 5-litre olive oil. Babes basically just moved around picking up everything and acting bare shot. Cause some of the products here she ain't seen since she was doing up boarding school in Nige. I remember having
Abbey Global in Ilford. Go there if you want to buy Afro-Caribbean products in bulk.
this Zobo drink before and it tasted bare like sorrel, cause man them said rice by the bucket load. Boxes of plantains for my big back snackers. These man even got the little fresh fruit and veg section, and 3 piece of plantain for £1 has got to be a UK world record low. These man obviously got the frozen meat section, but if you want the thing fresh, please believe they also got a whole butcher inside the place, you know. Can't lie, there ain't even enough time in this video for me to show you guys the whole shot. I just remember.
Big up that shop there.
And this is it, the oil.
Before we're going to leave soon, but we always show healthy stuff. This brother, we played one of the videos of him saying eat bananas and fruits. There's a poem of him talking about eating healthy. Let's see.
Bindi masala and
Maccabee, I think his name is.
this is it, the oil of your choice. In a skillet, add mustard and cumin seeds to it. Cook until they pop a little bit. Add onion, chili, ginger, garlic. Now cook for about 4 minutes. Now take the okra, add it to it with a little Himalayan or Celtic. Then cook again for about 10 minutes till golden, and some edges of it add the coriander, cayenne and turmeric, tomatoes, or as we say, tomatis. A little water added to it. Cover and cook for about 6 minutes. Then taste it. See if it's nice. If it needs a little something, add some more spice. There you have it. There you go, and if you want, garnish with cilantro. How want me eat Wednesdays? Yes, sire.
There you go. We got Maccabee there. While me eat Wednesdays. So yeah, talk about health there and good stuff. We're at the. Oh, I give it that one. That one. Yeah. So we're coming to the end of the show. I've had a long day. Today we covered customer service in the Caribbean and African restaurants. We focused mainly on the Caribbean, potential pain points and how to interact and try to offer guidance and service to improve, because we don't want Caribbean restaurants shut down. So we have solutions as in the PDF document, or trying to have like videos of how to do things good, or send people on training, that kind of stuff. And then we did a quick importance of young black innovation. We were joined by Brother Lee, aka Barber, and obviously Brother Dominic, a very important contribution. Any last things or anything you want to talk about, Dominic, before we kick, brother?
Yeah, so Raven, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, so what did you say?
I says anything you anything you like us to cover before we go, or anything you want to cover in the future, anything you want to say now?
For the future, I mean, it was some of the things that I sent you on Instagram.
Yes.
And I think it's very important because it was about the Netflix series. You have to.
I'm watching it. So let me don't say anything now, because I'm watching. I'm on the last. For those who don't know, there's a show on Netflix which the brother from So Solid's in, Ashley. Ashley, I think his name's Ashley Waters. I don't know if it's his name.
Ashley Waters.
Yes. Very, very talented actor. He's in a new show called Adolescence, and very good show. Very well directed. Very good acting abilities. I'm watching it now. I'm on the last episode. I'm going to watch it, and then maybe next week or so we'll cover it, because there's some kickback about people saying not best pleased with who they chose to pick this and who chose to pick that. So we'll cover it. But it's a good topic anyway, and we did cover a similar thing about the face of school violence, but more so mass school violence, whatever. But and how some black people seem to be wrapped up in this kind of behavioral pattern. So yeah, I have seen that, man. We'll cover that maybe next week or so. I just want to watch because I'm actually into it. So I don't like spoiling things to talk about. So let me watch it, and I'll try not to. I'll try not to do any spoilers if we do cover it and you haven't seen it. It's more so the theme is based on the people how react to it. But yeah, we'll do that, brother Dominic.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because yeah, it's a triggering topic for
Yes.
non-black people, I would say.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, that's all I've really got to say. It's a great show as always. Going towards the two topics. Yeah, I think as a community, well, as a whole, we need to do better in business, be more professional. I think it starts from the top, going down to the bottom. So having the mindset as a business owner to run it as a business. And, I will say this as well. I have a feeling that a lot of black owners, because maybe the majority of their customers are black people, I'm not saying this is factually true, but if they look down on black people, but they want black people to support their business, maybe that's the reason partly of why they give the customer service that they give. Because if you don't rate your customers and you're giving them bad customer service, but at the same time you want them to support you, it could be a cycle. Do you get what I mean? Because when you go into other businesses, you know, you understand what I mean? Because just imagine you have a business and you're like, you know, they look down on their own people and they come in to get the patty or the chicken or whatever service or product you're giving, and you give it to them in the worst way. You're delivering the service in the worst way because that's the way you look at your own people, you know. And I don't want to say this for every business, but sometimes I just think is the way you're looking at us is the reason why you're giving us these kind of results in customer service.
Well, yeah,
you know, so
yeah, I hear that, and I think you're tackling a deep issue where what does it look like from a community that have been taught self-hatred inwards and around within the community, and yeah, that's gonna
that's true.
Yeah, that you have a knock on.
I think you hit it there. The self-hatred kind of flows into the business concept as well.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course, it has to. It enters every area of life activity. So, and that's why we teach Black Betterment and Black Love, because the more you start loving, it's just like, look, we have love for Black people. That's why we want the business to do well. But if you don't have love for Black people, then you will want the business to fail. You see, so a Sri Lankan man can take over and make all the money. So what I'm saying is, literally, this is the importance of why we do Black Betterment. We give thanks to Brother Dominic. He's a consistent contributor to Black Bear Broadcast. He jumped on and gave some golden game today, which we thoroughly love. We're going to maybe tackle the adolescent topic next week about violent adolescents and the media. Maybe if we get time, we'll see what we can do. But for everyone...
One last thing for the last topic.
Go ahead, brother.
So with the importance of young Black innovation, to innovate in tech and business, I think it's a key topic because we want our new generation not to be left behind, because the future is going tech AI, and there's a lot of opportunities in Africa for this industry, and I feel we need to be getting on it as soon as possible, because we will be left behind and we will be colonized as we already have been in the past, from having these industries in Africa taken away and brought to Europe or worldwide, and we're the ones that originate from it, and we're not actually the ones providing it. You know, just like the materials in our phones, 90% of it comes from Africa. You know, so Africa is probably the richest country or continent in the world for the natural resources, but you know, it's been colonized so much. So that's why I'm using that analogy with tech. We can actually be there, but I think it starts with, you know, we have to give the education to the children, because if you look at our generation, our young generation now in the UK, you know, it's very brought into the media attention. All black boys do is carry knives, and that's not the case for every black boy, but that's the image that they portray in the actual public. But what they don't want to show is black boys that are at university and the ones that are doing tech and businesses. And I feel that needs to be pushed to the forefront, you know. So what I will leave with is there's a few people that I follow on Instagram, and the first person is I think you know him as well, Raven. He's called Dexter Sims. On Instagram, it's called Mr. Dexter Sims.
Right.
And he has a event every summer called Black Tech Day. I was in 2022 or 23. His last one last year was in the what's the guy's called? No, Stormzy. He has a property in Croydon called Murky FC, something like that.
Yeah.
And Black Tech Day was hosted in that building last year. And when I went to it in 2022, it was very good for not just kids, but for adults as well. There was a lot of families that went there. So I would recommend following Mr. Dexter Sim on Instagram, especially for his event in June, July. He also runs courses for education on business, on crypto, on many things that will be very good for our community in general, not just young people. There's also a guy called,
brother, your mic sometimes drops in, but
sorry.
We've put in a Black Tech as well as Mr. Sims and stuff there, but but just sometimes jumps in. But this is extremely important stuff you're saying, you know, especially about this. Is something.
I just want to give the information because I'm using it, and I think if it's out there, then there's opportunity for other people to use it, whether they do or not. But at least it's out there. You know, the last person I was going to give is something small. It was called Black Pound Coin on Instagram. Now, this is specifically for crypto, and what he's doing, he has created a crypto coin specifically for black people. Obviously, non-black people can use it as well, but it is for us to get into the crypto space because, like I said, you know, the future is going digital and tech. And he's also, which is very key, he has a few businesses that have utilized this coin as well, where you can pay for services and products using this coin. I remember he showed on Instagram there was a restaurant in Catford, South London, and the restaurant was actually using his crypto coin. So Black Pound Coin is the name on Instagram for anyone to look at, and it's just for people to get insight in these industries that I'm talking about.
Okay.
And that's what I'll leave with.
Brother, this is golden stuff. I posted it in the group. Big up, brother Dominic. Always an amazing contributor. We need more like him. And if you wish to speak on topics, brothers and sisters, feel free. You always have the chance. This podcast is for you. We're going to end it. We're at the time now. But I was going to say that we did look at some of the challenging customer service of Jamaica, of Jamaica restaurants, Caribbean restaurants. There are some good ones. I think Cotton's, I've been a long time. Well, if there's any customers that you want to highlight that I think really good, we were going to bring up Turtle Bay, but they are not owned by Caribbean, so big up them. But they are not owned by Caribbean, so it doesn't qualify. There's 2 Turtle Bay restaurants here, but I'm looking at the most popular restaurants Caribbean in London. Apparently, for this, is that Papa, Nadoc's Kitchen, Turtle Bay Brixton, Turtle Bay Camden, Turtle Bay Hamilton. So this Turtle Bay franchise is making a lot, and it's not owned by Jamaicans. Cottons is there, Jamaica Patty Co, another Cottons in Shoreditch. Is Cottons owned by black people? Let me know. I hope so. Ma Patty's Jamaica, Rogers Kitchen, Panda Berry. That doesn't sound black. This next one, Fish Wings and Tings, Caf Caribbean, and Ma Petite Jamaica. What's this? Limin, South Bank, Cottons. Cottons is a franchise because I've seen Cottons a lot. I wonder if it's. I'm hoping it's owned by black people. I really do. I'll look up for next week. Anyway, family. Until next week. A big up, Brother Dominic, for contributing. Big up. Let me go up to big up the people who can. Big up She Reigns, Love, Buddha Bing, Zulia for the Sri Lankan info. Thank you very much. Who else? On Code Barber, who came on as Lee. Menelik Goddess, who jumped in earlier. Who else? Yep, there we go. And anyone else who listens now in the future, you're always welcome to have a show about you. But until then, Black Betterment to all Black Betterment. Catch you next week. Thank you very much. See ya.
Black Betterment.
Black Betterment. Does it end stream? Here we go.